everyone, and welcome to the first installment of Rogues Gallery, where we count down the top 10 supervillains for some of your favorite heroes based on your votes. This week, we're looking at the Amazing Spider-Man's most notorious nemeses. Spider-Man has some of the best villains in comics, from the downright silly to the utterly terrifying, and narrowing down a list of 10 was incredibly hard. Classic characters such as Electro, the Sandman, and the Rhino all missed out on the top 10, as did newer creation Morlun, which came very close to making the list. With that said, let's count down Spider-Man's top 10 supervillains. Coming in at number 10 is the Hobgoblin, aka Roderick Kingsley. The Hobgoblin was originally more of a blackmailer and schemer whose plans often brought him into direct conflict with Spider-Man. And over time, the character has morphed into a franchisor of lower-level supervillain identities, providing costumes and gear for a cut of the profits. Number 9 is the Shocker, aka Herman Schultz. A regular thorn in Spider-Man's side, the Shocker has gauntlets that can create powerful vibrational waves capable of destroying property and disorienting his opponent. A coward with an opportunistic streak, the Shocker doesn't want to rule the world or kill Spider-Man, he just wants to make a quick buck. Slithering into 8th place is Carnage, aka Cletus Cassidy. When the Venom symbiote gave birth to an offspring more unstable and dangerous than its parent, it bonded with the serial killer Cletus Cassidy, and together as Carnage, they are one of Spider-Man's deadliest foes. Popping up at number 7 is Mysterio, aka Quentin Beck. Mysterio was a disgraced special effects whiz who turned his talents towards a life of crime, and can create deadly illusions to confuse and confound his enemies. He's notable for his fishbowl helmet, and was the first person in the Marvel Universe to cross dimensions to Earth 1610, aka the Ultimate Universe. Number 6 is Wilson Fisk, aka the Kingpin. New York City's fiercest mob boss might be more of a daredevil villain nowadays, but he debuted in the pages of The Amazing Spider-Man, and hates the webhead almost as much as he hates Matt Murdock. Cracking the top 5 is Kraven the Hunter. The fiercest game hunter in the land, Kraven actually defeated Spider-Man in the classic story, Kraven's Last Hunt, and took his place, proving himself to be better than his adversary. Content in his victory, Kraven committed suicide but was resurrected with his family, and now can only die at Spider-Man's own hand. Number 4 goes to the Green Goblin, but not the one you're thinking of. Harry, Peter Parker's best friend, who turned to drugs and eventually followed in his father's footsteps as the Green Goblin. Harry died from ingesting an untested goblin formula, but was resurrected as part of the Brand New Day event as a friend and ally to Peter. Swinging in at number 3, Venom, aka Eddie Brock. When Spider-Man discovered a new black suit on Battleworld which made his life as Spider-Man easier, everything seemed grand. However, he discovered that the suit was actually a symbiote attempting to bond with him, and he cast it out. It found the disgraced journalist Eddie Brock, who blamed Spider-Man for his downfall, and together they became the fearsome Venom. Venom has been an enemy, an anti-hero, and a full-on ally to Spider-Man at times, but is classically depicted as the ultimate inverse of everything the Wallcrawler stands for. The symbiote has also bonded with Mac Gargan, aka the Scorpion, and Flash Thompson, aka Agent Venom, who gained some semblance of control as government agent and guardian of the galaxy. Just missing out on the top spot at number 2 is Dr. Otto Octavius, better known as Dr. Octopus. Doc Ock has 4 mechanical arms fused to his body, which he uses to cause mayhem and help in his fight against Spider-Man. He tends to prefer to plan from the background and only engages Spider-Man physically when his schemes have been foiled. He successfully killed Peter Parker when he placed Spider-Man's mind into his own dying body, and Octavius assumed the role of the superior Spider-Man unbeknownst to any of Peter's friends or colleagues. Dr. Octopus is one of Spider-Man's most notorious and dangerous enemies, because Peter Parker can't just defeat him by punching him, he has to outthink him to save the day. That means Spider-Man's number 1 nemesis is Norman Osborn, the original Green Goblin. Norman Osborn was a wealthy industrialist who was driven insane by an experimental serum which caused him to be stronger and smarter at the cost of his mind. Osborn notoriously killed the love of Peter Parker's life when he threw Gwen Stacy from the George Washington Bridge, and in the ensuing battle with Spider-Man, he was impaled on his own Goblin glider. He was resurrected decades later as part of the controversial Clone Saga storyline and revealed as the mastermind behind the whole affair. Osborn ascended to the head of national security when he killed the Skrull Queen at the climax of Secret Invasion, and headed up S.H.I.E.L.D.'s replacement, Hammer, as the Iron Patriot, leading his own team of Dark Avengers. Osborn was ultimately deposed during a failed siege of Asgard, and following a failed coup against the Avengers, he found himself gravitating back towards Spider-Man, healed of his madness, determined to bring down his enemy once and for all. That's your top 10. Make sure to check out ComicsAlliance for the next poll to make your voice heard in the upcoming Rogues Gallery videos.